My name is Alfredo. I'm living here for 30 years. This farm, it's a place where we have ecosystems. Everybody think we must produce goods, different food and resources and energy. But the question is how we do this relation. We are very inspired here by a very old philosophy that we called Montado, it's based on the idea that we must understand the system and respect the system. And then we can dream and we can do everything. But first, you know the system and you respect it. Montado, it's a polyculture concept. So, like the nature is a system based on thousands of different elements, and the relation of these elements powered something that we call the energy that makes the system works. So we imitate that. So in Montado we work with a very complex structure based on trees, shrubs and pastures, and inside of this structure we run a very complex mosaic of activities. Not all domestic, a lot of them are wild. Okay, the birds we are listen, they are working for the system. Okay, or the microorganisms that we are smelling now with the rain, they are very, very important tools of the system. So all of these, I repeat, not only the domestic ones, the ones that we created and we are more focused, but all the rest, they are working in this system. And this is very important because of efficiency using the energy. We produce in food 300 references of different foods per week. We feed more than 500 people per day. But we produce things so different, like of course the services of the ecosystems, but also cork or wood or a lot of different foods. Or we produce also knowledge because we have some research areas here. So I can say you that we don't have no activity that contributes more than 5% for the total income. We don't put all the eggs in the same basket. That's a very old and very important rule from nature. The opposite of this, it's what we call normally now agriculture. And agriculture, what we have in our mind, it's monoculture. And monoculture is very easy. You pick a very complex system with thousands of elements and you focus the energy on only one element. And you cut all the relations with the others. And that's a very big exit. It's very, the result, it's very good because the energy that was synced on the system for all these elements, it goes only in one. And this is, boof. The problem is that you kill the system. So when you use this energy, you don't have more because the system is not powering more. So it's very good for today, it's a big problem for tomorrow. For me, soil without trees, it's a dead body. The live organism, it's soil, trees, atmosphere and water cycles. When you join these four, you have an organism that is autonomous, that can continue to live for a long time. When you put the trees on the top of the hill to make paper, to use 50% on the toilet of humans, and you take the trees from the place where it should be, because the tree is the feeder of the soil. So without efficient, permanent vegetable transforming light in organic matter to feed the soil, you cannot regenerate the soil. So you can bring the organic matter from other places, but then you lose efficiency in terms of energy. So our vision is that you must have, to have a permanent, sustainable, let's say, soil, you must have perennial vegetables over it, trees, shrubs, anything that can produce organic matter to feed the soil. The compost, it's not a good, efficient approach because you must move the material to a place and you have to transform it. It's much better than chemical fertilizers, of course, but our vision for the regeneration of soil, it's trees, biodiversity and wild beings. Without this tree, you will never have continuous soil. And the soil, you must understand that for us it's a battery. That it's normally in the system that creates us, and that we depend on this system because we, at least now, we don't know how to live without it. So, but we must understand that the original way to charge the battery of the soil, it's a solar panel that we call biodiversity. Now we find out another way to charge the soil, that it's based on carbon, on fertilizers that are coming from petrol. And this is very good in some way because it allowed us to charge very quickly and to put a lot of energy on the soil. But when you use this technology, not the original one, you are killing the soil more and more, and you are killing the first solution. And so the solar panel that is biodiversity, it's more and more less efficient, more difficult to recover, and that's a problem maybe. Because the original solution allowed us to go very far. What does not allow us is speculation, okay? The second one allowed us to have very quick results, and this is very good for what? For speculation. We also used other types of energy like kernel shells. Our heat systems are based on gasification of wood, of carbon, come from nature, and we used mainly the kernel. We have a pinus that produces a kernel, a piñón, and the shell, we use it also the bone of the olive. So these types of energy coming from our cycle systems, products, we are using it more and more, and it's very efficient. For instance, we produce the kernels with the pinus trees, and then the same people that buy us the product, they sell us the excedent. What I want to spread is the idea that everybody by itself think what is happening and try to make priorities. Nowadays, we are in a very special moment with a lot of challenges. In the Occident, we still put normally our individual strategy and our need to be richer and to accumulate more things over anything. And for instance, now in terms of climate change, biodiversity problem, the cycles of nitrogen or phosphorus, we should understand that without maintaining the conditions to live in this planet, any dream it's useful for nothing. So first, then our dreams, we should collectively assure that we have conditions to live in this planet, and that is not sure at all. And we know more and more that probably we are the generation that has a lot to do on that. So, and this is for me only solvable one by one. So if any of us think about this and prioritize the two things that we are not doing, we are running always. So please stop and think what we are doing here and understand that maybe there are other priorities that not only our dreams. Our dreams are very important, but to be possible, we must assure that we have these wonderful conditions to live this planet. 8 billion people in a desert, it's something. 8 billion people in a climax forest, it's another thing, completely different. So it depends on where we want to live. Nowadays, the new generations are not playing any type of role in our decisions, and that's not good even for us.